What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys go ahead and do so. We got some snow and I am in the blue WJ on 37s, so I'm going to take it out today, see how it does. There should still be some snow left in some spots, I know, so super excited to see how this thing does in the snow. This will honestly be the first test of the Jeep, then we'll get the 35s on it until we get the 1 tons done. All right, so there's a little bit of ice up here. Let's go ahead and spin this thing around a little bit. Still rubbing a little bit on the fenders. That's why I'm super excited to get the 1 tons under here. We'll put the 35s on until then, just so we don't kill the axles, and we should be good to go after we put 1 tons. So there's not a ton of snow left. Unfortunately, it didn't snow a ton last night, but there's one spot near my house where I know there's probably still snow at, and it's like 30 seconds down the road. There's just like sheets of ice some places, like this one we're on now. But there's like this place right down the road where me and Dylan from Jeep Guys Online used to always take our Jeeps, and there was this little tiny mud puddle there, and we thought we were so cool driving through this mud puddle. It was fun when we were younger and we didn't have like crazy Jeeps, but now we don't go there anymore. But there might still be a little bit of snow there, so let's head down here. It's literally right down the road from my house. So let's take a look. Looks like it's been plowed, but it's so windy that even when they plow, a lot of it's blowing back over the road and back over these like dirt roads and stuff. There's a ton of these dirt roads near my house, so they get covered in snow pretty quick. However, I did get this Jeep down in some, there is a little bit of snow here actually. I did get this Jeep down in a snowbank earlier and it got out pretty good in 4-wheel drive. My only concern is these axles, since we do have 37s on a stock axle, Dana 30 and Dana 35, it probably won't hold up for too long. But let's head down here and see if we can find any good snow. It is super bumpy in here. Probably also partially because we used to drive down here extremely fast and rutted everything out. But let's see if we find any snow. There's a little bit in spots. Up here, some trees, so I'm thinking up here. They also don't plow this the best just because it's like dirt and bumpy, so you can't really do a good job plowing this without tearing up the dirt. Jeep is honestly going through this pretty well considering the tires are like 10% tread left. I thought it was going to slip and slide a lot more. I've only had to put it in 4-wheel drive once or twice today, so that's pretty sick. I'm going to stop here and get some pictures for like a thumbnail, and we'll continue on after that. As you guys can see, the snow's not super deep or anything. In some spots it's deeper from where it's blowing across the road, but I kind of wish that I got this Jeep out the other day when it snowed a decent bit, but unfortunately I didn't, and we broke the other Jeep as well, so that part kind of sucks also. But let's continue on down this road. See, now we're slipping a little bit now that we've stopped getting going again, but once we get going it's actually not bad. I'm excited to get the 35s on this. That should be coming within the next week or so. They're brand new mud terrains from Radar tires, so I'm super pumped to get those put on here because then we can actually wheel the Jeep a little bit so you guys can see some more wheeling content. Also, this is going straight. Definitely have to adjust my steering, but I think I'm gonna wait for, this is all like mud. I think I'm gonna wait for my steering kit to be done, so that way we can just go ahead and make an install video on that and adjusting it at the same time and get everything set up. Bunch of snow in the fields, but I'm not about to get in trouble going into these fields in a Jeep. It's just not worth it honestly anymore. But the Jeep's doing pretty well so far. I took the Wrangler to go get coffee this morning and try to find spots that still had snow, and there wasn't really a ton. It did a pretty good job plowing, But my friend's Snapchat stories from this morning were all, the roads were all covered. So I halfway wish I woke up earlier. That way we could go ahead and get some snow footage. I'm gonna go ahead and turn around here. Doesn't look like there's gonna be a ton more snow. And I did do donuts in the road earlier. However, I accidentally took a time lapse. So that didn't really do anything. Kind of just like keeps on going. We're not having any issues. I do need to get a drive shaft soon for this thing because the front CV drive shafts are constantly clicking. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it in this video, but they're about to go out, so we're gonna have to replace those. I'm not too worried about that, but we'll get that done. I'll call up the guys over at Adams and get some custom drive shafts made for it. So once I go to 1 tons, if anybody is looking for any drive shafts for a 6.5 inch lift Grand Cherokee, I'll have some for you, so let me know. I'm going to be selling those probably as soon as I get the 1 tons under here, because then I'll have to order another set of drive shafts for the Jeep, which not a huge worry or anything. It's just, you know, not ideal. I'd rather not spend $2 on drive shafts. I'd rather spend 1, but it is what it is. I want to get some content out of this thing, wheeling how it is, just that way I have kind of like a bench line of where we're at, and then we'll go from there once we get the 1 tons. I'd like to see what it's capable of before that. I think that would be really cool. We'll take it up to Pennsylvania and hit up Roush Creek while it's on the 6.5 inch lift and 35s at the time. However, we'll probably end up breaking the axles and blowing the Jeep up at that point, just because I'm not going to take it easy on it, especially knowing I can just tow it home and I'll have a new set of axles ready for it. But we'll see how that goes. Planning on probably getting those within the next month or so. I have a couple other things I want to do this first before we go ahead and do that. Here's where a lot of the snow was, or what's left. It's not a lot of snow, but better than nothing. You guys can see how my path's already getting filled in with snow from earlier, and it's been like 2 minutes. So this stuff's gonna be filled back up in 20 minutes. Probably take the Wrangler down here a little bit later. Heading back to the house now. I do have some updates I probably will be making today to the overland storage system in the other Jeep. That's gonna be fairly simple, so you guys will see a video on that shortly. Basically just updated tool storage setup. I got some new stuff to make that a little bit nicer, so that way we can store tools. I want to refresh that whole build, because that Jeep will basically be like a support vehicle for the 2 Jeeps, the Wrangler and this Grand Cherokee. I'm going to have extra parts in it, tools, all kinds of fluids like oil, gear oil, coolant, there's water, all that kind of stuff's going to be stored in there. So I'd like that to be actually pretty nice. That way we don't have to worry about that, because it's going to suck when we're broken already. So we might as well make it a little bit. I'm going to pass and keep going, see if there's still ice down here. I want to make it a little bit nice just because it's already going to suck once we're broken, so we might as well make that whole process as painless as possible. That way we can get fixed and back on the trails as soon as possible. I think it'll be really helpful though to have like a support vehicle that has all that stuff in it. I think that'll help a ton. So I'm super excited to take that back out of the Jeep and refresh that whole build. This Jeep we're in now is actually getting the whole back removed, all the carpet, seats, all that stuff. There's just no need for it. I'm only gonna have a passenger seat and a driver's seat in here. We'll have a fuel cell in the back, obviously, and some storage for some stuff. But that's about it in here. This is all still ice. Let's spin it around a little bit here. rubbing on that fender just a little bit. That's why I kind of want to get the 35s on too. I don't want to cut anymore until I have the 1-tons under there and we can do the final cuts. It's really barely rubbing, so the 35s will solve that issue, no problem. But I'm gonna go ahead and park the Jeep. And that basically wraps up this video. Unfortunately, we didn't get a ton of snow, but we got enough to have a little bit of fun. It was cool to take the Grand Cherokee out in the snow. It's honestly the first test that Jeep has had. It really hasn't been driven besides on the road at all since we did anything to it. So it's pretty cool to get it out and do a little bit of stuff with it. Like I was saying, I would like to get a trip to Roush in that. 35's coming soon and a refresh coming to the Overland setup. So there's just some videos you guys can expect soon. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching all these videos. Thanks for all the support. You guys have been killing it on the support on the previous videos. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.